Okay, I think we are recording now. I want to go ahead and get started so I don't keep everybody too long because our Show Me the Money call, our corporate call on Monday nights is on at 9 o'clock tonight. So I want to get everybody on that. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're having a good Monday. I just wanted to talk to you about getting your business off the ground and making some money, right? That's what we all want to do. For those of you who don't know me, like I said, my name is Jennifer Johnson. I'm a double diamond leader with It Works. I started back in April of 2015, and I went diamond in 3 months. And I earned the $10,000 bonus, just like many of you are pushing for. So 6 months into my business, I went double diamond, and then I built my husband to diamond. And now we're almost triple in double diamond. So I want to talk to you guys tonight about getting your business off the ground and going, so you guys can be in this same position. So like I said, if you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask, because this is a small group. Or in the chat section below, you can comment and I'll get to those. So the first thing I want to say is if you have not logged into eSuite yet and filled out your tax info, you'll want to make sure that you go ahead and do that right away. You cannot get paid. You are on a commission hold. You cannot get paid until you log into eSuite your first time. And it'll just prompt you right away to, I think you have to like electronically sign something to like make sure that you can get paid, because you're on a commission hold until you log in that first time and fill that information out. It takes maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. So your username, when you first go to log in, your username is the customer number that you got when you finished checking out. When you enrolled, they gave you a customer number. That's going to be your username, and then the password is whatever you created when you were signing up under Lori or under Ingrid. So you'll want to make sure that you log in using that information, and it'll prompt you right away to fill out your tax info, and you want to make sure that you do that. The second thing I want to say right away is don't wait to get started, okay? So I know a lot of times, especially if you haven't tried any, I'd never tried any wraps or anything like that before. I had no idea what they did. But it's really important to remember that you don't have to wait to get started. The minute you sign up, your website goes live, and you can immediately start signing up customers and distributors right away. So you want to do that, just hit the ground running, just run with it. There's no reason for you to have to wait for your kit to come in the mail. You can actually start right away. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about, because most of you probably signed up at the end of last month when we had that $9.99 deal, which was a really great deal. So the thing is, we had a ton of people sign up then. So whatever shipping option you picked, it will probably take the full amount of time. So I think it was the standard, the cheapest one is 10 to 14 days, I think. It's probably going to take the full 2 weeks for you to get your business builder kit in the mail. And you don't want to wait that long to get started. You want to start right away and hit the ground running. There's a lot of incentives for you when you're first getting started in your first 30 days that you want to do. So you don't want to wait until that kit comes in the mail. You immediately have access to your own website. People can join under you. People can purchase from you. So you definitely want to take advantage of that and get started right away. And that's kind of what we wanted to cover tonight. We wanted to help you get your business going right away. You don't have to wait for your kit. So the first thing that we want to cover are the things that you need to print off in eSuite. So when you unmute everybody, just if you have a question, you can just unmute yourself. But to eliminate background noise, I'm just going to go ahead and mute everybody as they come in. So right away, when you log into eSuite, there's a few things that you will want to do. So at the top, when you log into eSuite, the first thing you're going to see is you're going to fill out your tax information. That way you can get paid, because you don't want to be on commission hold. The second thing you should do is you should go to the document library At the top, you'll see a dashboard. There'll be a tab that says Document Library that you can go to and you can click on. And there's a few things that you'll want to go ahead and print off. And one of the first things that you'll want to print off is your steps to success. And there's a search bar at the top. And if you just type in steps to success, it will come up for you and you can print it off. Now, when you get your actual kit in the mail, you'll get a copy of this in your kit. And it'll be like a nice cardstock like copy. But until then, you want to have that steps to success in your hand. So go ahead and print off your steps to success. The next thing you'll want to print off is your hundreds list. So just type in like 100 and in the search bar and hit enter. And then you'll see the hundreds list pop up. You'll want to print that off, and you'll want to print off what we call our memory jogger. And I'll explain all three of those in detail, but those are the three things that you'll want to go ahead and print off and have in your hand: your steps to success, your hundreds list, and your memory jogger, okay? So the next thing that you're going to look for in eSuite is a tab that says It Works You at the top. That's a training academy for all new distributors. It's a super valuable information. You'll want to make sure that you go through all of that right away because you have access to it immediately. So look at the It Works You tab at the top, click on it, and go through all of that training. It does not take long at all. And it'll help give you information right away that you need to get your business started. So what I want to say first off is, I know it can be really difficult when you're first getting started because it's like so much information. It's kind of like drinking water from a fire hydrant, right? Like it can be overwhelming. Like when you don't know all the information about the products, when you don't know all the information about the business or the compensation plan, it can be overwhelming. So what I want to say, like right off the bat, before you jump into all of that and get overwhelmed, because when we get overwhelmed, what do? We stop, right? What I want to say is don't overcomplicate the business. Okay, we're paid for two things. Just keep this in mind. We're paid for two things. We're paid for signing up customers and signing up distributors, okay? So the company has made it so simple for us to make money and for us to promote. And the way that we do that is through our steps to success. So before you start thinking, I need to memorize all this product information, I need to memorize the compensation plan, you don't, okay? Because a lot of that you'll learn as you go. I've been in the company for 2 years and I'm still learning every day. So you don't have to know everything to start. You don't have to know anything to start. I sure didn't. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just started. And the company makes it so simple for us. We have 3 steps to success that we complete every month. They're simple and they're duplicatable, and they're so easy to teach to your team as well. So let's talk about our steps to success. We have 3 steps to success. The first is you need to sign up 4 loyal customers a month. Okay, we're going to get into this in detail in just a second. 4 loyal customers. The second step to success is sign up 3 distributors. Okay, that's our goal every month. 4 LCs, loyal customers, and 3 DTs, 3 distributors. That's our goal every single month. Then finally, you want to teach those 3 distributors that you sign up to do the exact same thing the next month. You can repeat these steps to success. You can teach these steps to success. They're duplicatable. And that's what makes our company so simple. You don't have to go out and have 15 parties in somebody's home, and you don't have to keep $1,000 in inventory. You don't have to do all that. You need to sign up 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors every month. That's our steps to success. And then teach those 3 distributors to do the exact same thing you did the next month. And you continue completing your steps to success, and they continue completing their steps to success, and your business will explode, okay? So let's just get to, let's talk about your hundreds list. next, because we're going to talk about how to get your 4 loyal customers and how to get your 3 distributors. So your hundreds list that you're going to print off in eSuite, that is a list for you that will help you think of who you can talk to, okay, about this business. I did not have a large group of friends when I joined this business, okay? I was a full-time working mother. I was working more than 50 hours a week. So I didn't really have a social life. I barely had time to shower, let alone have a large group of friends. I had less than 100 friends on Instagram, probably about that same amount on Facebook. I had a very small nucleus of friends when I first started. So this hundreds list was everything. Like, it helped me out so much at the beginning. You're going to sit down and you're going to fill out your hundreds list. You're going to write down a list of 100 people that you can contact either about the business or about the products. And I actually divided mine right in half. 1 through 50, I did people that I could reach out to about the products and becoming loyal customers. And then 51 through 100, I listed people that I could reach out to about the business. And if you're drawing a blank, like, we all know 100 people. We do. Sometimes we don't think that we do, but we all know 100 people. And so the memory jogger that you're also going to print off in eSuite is a great way to help you think of people that you may be forgetting, people that you come into contact with all the time that you may not have thought of to contact. So I used the first 50 slots for people that I was going to reach out to about loyal customers, and then the bottom 50 for people I was going to reach out to about the business, because you probably don't want to approach the same people for both products and business, because you want them to sign up for one or the other because they can't do both. So I made a list in my mind as I was going through, and like, I knew my granny was not going to be a part of the business. I knew she wasn't, but I knew I could probably get her to buy wrinkle cream from us, or wow. So I put her in the loyal customer category on my hundreds list. My best friend, I knew that my best friend was broke and they needed money bad. So she's also like pretty thin. So I was like, she's not going to do the products, but I bet I could talk to her about the business because they need money. So I put her in the potential distributor category on my hundreds list and reached out to her about the business. So I try to have like a systematic way that you list them out. That's what I did, and it really helped me. So let's talk about getting those first 4 loyal customers. Let's talk first about the benefits of getting your first 4 loyal customers. So many of you joined, probably all of you joined during the month of June. During the month of June, we ran an incentive that if you signed up during the month of June and you got your first 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days, you would get a $100 shopping spree for anything that you wanted, any products, any apparel, anything like that, which is amazing. Because a lot of times, if you're like me, when you join, you've never tried anything. So you definitely want to get some products on, like, that you can get your hands on. So you can try some stuff. So you can tell people our greens are amazing. They gave me so much energy. Or I love our probiotics. They help keep me regular, whatever. You want to get those first 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days because you definitely want that free. Like, that's just somebody handing you $100 to buy anything you want from It Works. So that's super nice. That's the first incentive. The second incentive is we have these amazing bonuses that start out at like $10,000. If you promote to Diamond in your first 3 months, you will get a $10,000 bonus, which is amazing. But one of the requirements for that is you have to have 4 loyal customers. Like, you have to have enrolled 4 loyal customers. So that's another reason that you really want to work to get these 4 loyal customers. And then the third reason is that you want to get what we call fast start qualified. I know that's kind of a fancy term, especially when you're first starting out. What it basically means is when you get fast start qualified, you can start earning unlimited weekly bonuses. These are $100, And for every person that you personally enroll on your team, like if you get your sister to sign up as a distributor under you, when they get their first 2 customers, you'll get $100 bonus for every single one of them. So there's 3 reasons right there that you really want to push and work hard to get those first 4 loyal customers. So obviously the natural question is, how do I get them? How do I get people to enroll, right? So what I would say is this: fill out your hundreds list. You have that, like for me, I had the first 50 people for potential loyal customers, right? And what I did first was I thought of who I like to call chicken soup people, okay? So let's say you're sick and you need somebody to bring you some chicken noodle soup because you're really sick and you can't get out of the bed. Who are the first 4 people you would call to bring you chicken noodle soup? And those were my first 4 people: my mom, my granny, my sister-in-law, like people that you know and that know you and that love you, people that would help you out just because they love you. So I contacted my chicken soup people first. I called my mom right away and I was like, hey, Mom, I just joined It Works and I need you to be a customer. She was like, okay, what is it? I was like, it's this wrap. I think it makes you skinny. You got to put it on. I don't really know, but I need you to be a customer. So who are your chicken soup people? Who are the people that you would reach out to for help, for a favor? And here's the thing, with anybody that you reach out to, it's very important not to email them, not to, I guess text messaging is okay. Ideally though, I think it's best if you either personally pick up the phone and call or meet with somebody face to face. Because when they can see how genuine you are, when they can sense the excitement in your voice, obviously it's going to go a lot farther. Like if you send somebody an email, like how easy is it for somebody to ignore an email? Like, oh, I never saw that email. So that is like, I would not do that at all. Like if at all possible, I would get them on the phone or I would meet with them in person. And here's the big thing. Do not ask people, do you want to be a product tester? Do you want to sample some of my products for 90 days? For me, that never worked in the beginning because you're brand new and it's likely that even if you have started posting, that you haven't posted much because you're brand new, right? And that gives people an excuse to say no when you're like, hey, do you want to be a product tester for me? And they're like, product tester for what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. No thanks. And it makes it really easy for people to say no when you do it, like when you phrase it like that. So for me, I found it best to just, with those people who are like your chicken soup people, the people that you know and that you love, to just call them or get face to face with them and say, hey, I just started my new business with It Works and I'm super excited about where it's going to take me. I need 4 people to be my first 4 loyal customers. Would you be willing to help me out and purchase something from me? And just straight up ask, like, my mom and I are really close. I called my mom and I didn't even give her an option. I was like, Mom, I just signed up for It Works. I need you to be a customer. Okay, what is it? I don't know, but I need you to be a customer. I had my mom enrolled as a loyal customer within 3 hours of joining because I just asked her. I was like, you got to do this for me. And obviously you can't do that with every person that you know. I mean, with your mom, you're a little more familiar with her. But like your sister-in-law or your cousin, you can just be like, hey, I just joined and I need 4 people to be customers for me. Would you be willing to help me out and reach that goal by becoming a customer? And just straight up ask them. Don't ask them if they want to be product testers. Don't ask them if they want to try some of your It Works products. Ask them for help. And most of the time, people who know you and who love you will say yes just for that very reason. Even if they're not necessarily interested like long-term in doing it, because they love you, they'll help you reach that first goal. So that's my advice for reaching out to those chicken soup people. Then after that, we all have that, you'll have that list of people still that maybe you're not quite as close to, that you wouldn't call for chicken soup if you were sick, but you still want to reach out to them for products. In that situation, then I would say something to them like this. So say something like, hey, I just started my new business with It Works. I obviously haven't had a chance to try any of the products yet because I'm brand new. Would you be willing to try, and then ask them to try a particular item. Would you be willing to try our greens for 90 days and give me an honest review? In return, I can give you my discount, which is nearly half off. Would you be willing to help me with that? And still ask them for help. Okay, does that make sense? Just don't leave it as, hey, do you want to be a product tester, and leave it at that. Don't do that. I would legitimately just tell them like, hey, I just started my new business with It Works, and I have not had a chance to try anything out yet. Sorry, just muting everybody. I have not had a chance to try out all the products yet. Would you be willing to try something for me? Try greens or try our probiotic or whatever, and for 90 days and give me an honest review. Would you be willing to help me with that? And just ask them, because a lot of times, like I said, people will say yes just because they want to help you out. So that's how I would approach reaching out to people on your hundreds list for becoming a loyal customer. Okay, the next thing is distributors. I'm going to talk about getting those teammates signed up under you. So remember, we get paid for two things. We get paid for signing up customers, and we get paid for signing up distributors. So the next thing you want to focus on is getting your 3 distributors every month. That's the last part of the steps to success. It's getting 3 distributors. So for me, when I was filling out my hundreds list and thinking about people that I could reach out to about the business, there were 2 different types of things that I thought of to put people on my list. The first, I thought of people who just needed $500, right? Like my best friend, like she was selling things on eBay to make ends meet for their family. So I knew she probably would not be interested in products, but I figured she could probably use an extra $500 a month. So she went on my potential distributor category on my hundreds list because I knew that she could use an extra $500 a month. The second group of people I thought about were people who had really great personalities. Maybe they're a people person, or they're really outgoing, or maybe they have like a ton of friends on Facebook or Instagram, and you just think, man, they would probably be really good at this. So I had those 2 categories of people on my hundreds list for potential distributors. Now, when you're first starting out, you don't have a success story. Okay, you can't tell people like, I earned a $10,000 bonus, and you can't do that. Okay, so it can be intimidating for you to reach out to people on your hundreds list about becoming distributors because you don't really know what to say or what to do because you haven't, like most of you are new like within the month of June. So you don't really know how to reach out to people. So it's natural, and our initial response is to clam up and to not really reach out to people about becoming distributors. But remember when we talked just a little bit earlier, for every distributor that you sign up on your team, when they get Fast Start qualified, when they get their first 2 customers, you're going to get $100 bonus for every single one of them, which is incredible. I mean, like you can't, like that's in addition to your commission. Guys, when I was first starting out, those weekly bonuses for signing teammates up, those paid for our groceries, those paid for diapers for my kid, those bonuses put gas in our car when I was still trying to make ends meet when I was just starting with It Works. So those bonuses are amazing, and you want to make sure that you are getting those by signing people up on your team. Plus, everybody that you sign up on your team, as they're signing up loyal customers, you're getting paid on that as well. So I always tell people, you will 100% always make money selling products. Always. Like, our products are amazing. They pretty much sell themselves. I mean, everybody's always looking to look their best and feel their best. but you will become wealthy by growing your team. And so I feel like a lot of times with new distributors, you focus so heavily on getting customers, which you do, like you do want to focus on that, but don't do that at the expense of neglecting getting distributors signed up on your team, because you're going to promote faster, you're going to get those weekly bonuses, your paycheck's going to grow as you're signing up those distributors. So focus really on getting those first 4 loyal customers, and then you want to shift, and don't forget the second half of your steps to success in signing up distributors as well. Now for me, when I first got started, I had no idea what to do to get distributors. I'm talking like none. I didn't know what to do. So what worked for me has actually worked for a lot of people on my team. I couldn't tell people a success story because I didn't have one yet. But what I did tell people was where I was going, okay? So I knew when I joined, I knew I had to go diamond because that was what would replace my full-time income. So I knew that diamond was my goal rank. And I also knew that there was a $10,000 bonus attached to that diamond promotion. So the minute I joined, I started telling people, you will not believe this. I have joined this company. I am so excited. I am going to promote to diamond. I'm going to earn $2,000 a month, and I'm going to make a $10,000 bonus. And when I quantified that, when I gave them like set amounts of money that I was going to earn, based on the income chart, what I was going to earn and the time frame that I was going to do it in, I got people's attention. And you can do that same thing. You can be like, girl, you are not going to believe this. I just joined this amazing company. I am so excited about what it's going to do for my family. By the end of September, like if you joined in, let's say you joined in June, by the end of September, I am promoting to diamond, which has with it an average paycheck of $2,000, and I'm going to earn myself a $10,000 bonus. I'm looking to help 5 people get started. I know that you can use this money. Do this with me. You need to do this with me. I remember telling one of my friends that I reached out to initially because I knew they were broke. I was like, you have to do this with me. You just have to, because if I'm going to earn this money, I know that you can do it. So you need to join me. And I just kind of was just laid it out there for her. First of all, because she was my friend, but second of all, I couldn't say like a major success story for myself, but I could tell her where I was going. And I was able to sign several distributors initially because I was telling people what I was going to make and when I was going to make it. And guys, money talks. Money talks. And so when I was able to give them that information, a lot more people interested. So I would highly recommend doing that. The other thing that I do, and I work a lot on Instagram. I'm getting more into Facebook these days. But I built initially strictly through Instagram. And so what I do every single day is I actually highlight someone else from our company who has had major success. Because a lot of times my story might not relate to somebody, but somebody else's story may and could get their attention. Maybe one of my followers isn't a mom or, like I am or whatever. But perhaps like I could post a story about, a college student who promoted to diamond really quickly, and that story could resonate with her. Our chief networking officer, her name is Pam Souter. If you don't follow her on Facebook, go follow her. Almost every day she posts a testimony of somebody in the company who has promoted and done really well. She uses, it's a title called Caught in the Adventure. And she highlights one distributor almost every day who's done really well in the company. So a lot of times I get my success story from Pam Souter, and I just go and I post it because I want people seeing other people being successful, right? So those are the two things that really helped me kind of spark interest in getting new distributors on my team. And then the other thing that I want to say about this is, and this is really big. So if you're anything like me, I am by nature a pretty introverted person. I'm quite a people pleaser. I don't want to do anything to step on anybody's toes. I never want to be like that person who like hounds you about joining or anything like that. So unfortunately, at the beginning, I let fear get the best of me because I did not want to hear the word no. Because first of all, when it's coming from somebody that like you know and love, it can kind of hurt your feelings, right? Like you don't want anybody to tell you no. And it hurts your pride. Like you, like nobody ever wants to be told no. And so I think a lot of times when we think of the word no, we immediately associate it with failure. And that's not true at all. Okay? If you've been in the business for any length of time, like any top income earner, Ambassador Diamond will tell you, they have heard the word no exponentially more than they have heard the word yes. And let me tell you this from experience. A no will not kill you. You may think it will. I thought it would. But it's not going to kill you. It's obviously not fun to hear no, but it's just par for the course, okay? And a lot of times no doesn't mean no forever. A lot of times no just means not right now. When I was first reaching out to people on my hundreds list, almost everybody ignored me, which to me that meant no. Like they read it and didn't even respond. So to me that meant no. And it's kind of a hard pill to swallow. And I think when we're first starting out, we associate no with failure, and that's not true at all. Because at the end of the day, this business is a numbers game. That's it. The more people that you talk to, the more no's you're going to hear. However, the more no's you hear means also the more yeses you're going to hear. I have learned, just like working my own business over the last 2 years, that I usually close about 10% of all of my sales and all of my distributors. So if I'm talking to 10 people about becoming distributors, on average for me, only one will join. If I'm talking to 50 people about becoming customers, on average, only 5 will join. That's just my personal closing rate. For you, you may find it's more, you may find it's less. What does that mean? It means you have to realize that this is a numbers game. So if I know that it usually for me, I close about 10% and I need to sign up 3 distributors a month, I need to be talking to at least 30 people a month about joining my team, a minimum of 30 people a month. If I'm trying to sign up 4 loyal customers a month to complete my steps to success, I sign up about 10%, so I need to be talking to at least 40 people about becoming loyal customers. So what does that mean? I hear 36 no's. And that's not fun, but I get my 4 yeses along the way. So don't be afraid to hear the word no, because the more no's you hear also means the more yeses you'll hear. And another thing that I want to say is, a lot of times going into this, we have preconceived notions like, oh, this person won't want any products. Like, there's no way she would want any products. Or there's no way this person would ever be interested in joining. She just wouldn't want to join ever. And so a lot of times we say no for people, right? Like we think they would say no. And so we don't even offer it. So let me just give you a little story about myself. I was one of those people. Like, you would think that I was like the last person in the world who would join a network marketing company. I wouldn't go to parties like Mary Kay parties and stuff like that. Like, they freaked me out because I was afraid I would be pressured into buying something. I would like run from those people because this like network marketing was not for me. But I came to a point in our lives where behind closed doors, my husband and I were struggling so bad. We were barely making ends meet. Sometimes we weren't making ends meet. We were living on credit cards. We never saw each other ever. Our baby was in daycare every day. And I was laying in bed at night praying for something to come into my life. And I am the last person that people would ever probably approach about becoming a part of It Works Global. But after 2 years, I'm almost triple diamond and my husband is almost double diamond. So don't say no for anyone. I see you, Melissa. Don't say no for anyone, because you never know who needs our products. You never know who needs this business. This business saved us. In a million different ways, this business saved us. And you cannot do anyone the disservice of not offering it to them. One of my highest ranking distributors, she's charted for double diamond. One of my highest ranking distributors, she was one of those people. I was like, she would never be interested in this. Like, there's no way she would want this. Like, there's nothing. I would not approach her about the business. We go to church together, and so I was like, that would be super awkward, and I don't want to do that. So I want to say it was like maybe 11 months into my business, she approached me. After watching me, she approached me, because I wouldn't go to her. She approached me and said, you need to tell me more about this business. I didn't know she was struggling. Nobody else knew she was struggling, but she and her husband needed this business. Guys, she joined and took off, and she's only been in the business for a year, and she's already charted for double diamond. And I kick myself constantly, because I'm like, if I would have approached her right when I joined, think about how much farther along I would be and she would be, right? So moral of the story is, don't say no for anyone. A lot of times in our minds, we have like this group of people that we don't want to approach or contact because we just are certain they would say no. And she was one of those. I was one of those people. And look at us now, right? So don't be afraid to hear the word no, and don't be afraid to reach out to anybody or say no for anyone. Let them make that decision themselves, because a lot of times, even if they do say no, no doesn't mean no forever. A lot of times it just means not right now. So that's what I've learned over the last 2 years. So that's really what I wanted to cover, guys. Getting those, getting back to basics, getting your steps to success, getting your first 4 loyal customers, because it's so super important to get those first 4, and getting your 3 distributors. Like I said, I didn't want to keep you long because the Show Me the Money call is on in about 15 minutes. So does anybody have any questions? You can unmute yourself if you have a question, or you can type it in the chat. But if not, we'll go ahead and finish up. That way everybody can jump on the Show Me the Money call. Nobody? And for those of you who don't know, every Monday night at 9 o'clock, our Chief Networking Officer, Pam Souter, hosts a call. It's called the Show Me the Money call. And she highlights, she'll have on top income earners and people who have just promoted to the high ranks, like Presidential Diamond and Ambassador Diamond. And she'll interview them, and they give us tips like how to grow our own business. So it's really, really valuable information. You want to make sure you get on that. So, all right, I don't think anybody has any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.